So, last week I ended up having a discussion with everyone about my struggles with depression. I've decided this week I'm going to continue opening up about the state of my mental health, and I am going to go into a little bit of talk about my panic disorder. This one's kind of hard for me to talk about because it's a newer thing I've been dealing with. It started in about 10th or 11th grade. It was 11th grade. When I was taking 2 AP classes in the same year. I was taking AP US History, AP Environmental Science. And I honestly think that it was because of a combination of my depression and stress that it got that bad. Some people will say that what I have isn't a panic disorder. But when I go into hyperventilating, my entire body going numb, crying, sobbing, like just fits of pure panic and terror. And it's not something that just happened once. It's something that's happened about 30 or 40 times in the past 2 years. My first, major panic attack happened when I was hanging out in my basement with my boyfriend. I can't remember exactly what triggered it, but I do remember what it felt like. It wasn't something I had ever experienced before that. Not to that extreme. Like I said, that was 11th grade. That was the year that I was just totally stressed out about taking 2 AP exams in the same year, because it was one thing taking 2 classes, but it was another thing having to take 2 major tests in the same year. That I also had to start worrying about the SAT, and there was just too much. And so I'm pretty sure that the first panic attack I had was over not being good enough. I was just freaking out that I was going to fail both of my tests, that I was never going to get into college, and that my boyfriend was going to leave me. Because I remember sitting there, sobbing and rocking back and forth, struggling to breathe while my chest hurt and my entire body went completely numb. And just saying, "You're going to leave me," to my boyfriend. He's been there for the majority of the times that I've had a panic attack. Because when he was there the first time, he just held me until I stopped. He was there for the second one too. Well, the second major one, because I had multiple smaller, more anxiety attacks about stuff when I was alone, about my grades, about school. But my second major panic attack happened at Anime Boston. It was my first time going, for real. I had gone in 11th grade for one day on the Sunday, which is, the least busy day. But in my senior year, which was last year, I was there on Saturday. I was there on Friday too, but Friday wasn't as crowded. On Saturday, I was in the dealer's room with my boyfriend, my friend Lisa, and my boyfriend's friend. Um, there was a lot of people. It felt like being trapped. I'm extremely claustrophobic, so when I'm in a crowd of people and I can't find a space to move that's open enough that I don't have people practically touching me, I start to get like panicky. And so that's what started to happen. So I decided to ask my friend if we could leave and just let my boyfriend and his friend walk around. But she wanted to stay and buy something. So I decided that rather than trying to leave on my own and risk having a panic attack because I got lost trying to get through the crowd of people, I would just suffer and try and make it out and hope that she would be able to buy her thing fast enough. After about 2 more minutes of walking, I couldn't do it anymore. I just kind of froze where I was, told my boyfriend that I had to leave, and while he was trying to explain why, I started to go into a panic attack, and I was crying, I was hyperventilating, my body was starting to go numb, so I was holding on to my boyfriend so that I wouldn't fall over. He helped me get out of there, but I was on the ground for a good 45 minutes, just crying, rocking back and forth, hyperventilating. My body went so numb that it stayed numb after I stopped crying. That time there was this really, really nice person there. They were just trying to help and talking to me and getting me a water, even though I didn't really want them to because I was just kind of like embarrassed. But they were trying to be really helpful and they were trying to be really nice, so I didn't want to be rude. So I just let them help until they went away. Again, I had my boyfriend there with me, so he held me while I was crying again. But this one was harder for me to stop. Other than that, the majority of my panic attacks happen just at really bad times. Like, I'm not gonna go into detail about when or why they happen, because it's just not something I want to talk about to the internet. And I hope you guys can respect that, because it's just not something I'm going to talk about online. I won't talk about it even with my friends. It's just something that I'm dealing with on my own and with the help of my boyfriend. The reason I decided to talk about this today was that I was just watching a YouTube video, and it was a really good video. It was really interesting and really powerful, but there was something in it that ended up triggering one of my panic attacks. And so I decided I would make this video just to shed a little light on something else that I deal with mentally, so that you guys can get a little better of an idea as to like what I'm actually dealing with on a daily basis, and just maybe give you guys an understanding of like the kind of things that happen in my life and in my head, so that you'll understand why I can't always post on time and why I can't always do what I'm supposed to. I'm trying. I am trying really hard. And this is something that's going to be even harder to deal with than just depression, because I have this on top of the depression, so I have to deal with those at the same time. But I am trying to work through it by talking things out with people. I am trying to work through it with myself and by telling myself that it's okay to not be okay. And I think that's probably one of the most important things, is just knowing that I don't have to be okay all the time, and I don't have to pretend I am. Because if I'm not, then I'm not. And if people are going to get upset with me about that, they're not really people I need in my life. And if people get upset with you because of your mental health, they're not people that you want in your life.